Welcome back, everyone. Now, in this lecture, we're going to be using Grammarly to basically take the content and change it in order to make sure to bypass these AI content detectors. Because right now, we have this one is at 65%. And by the way, this is the text that is, according to this tool, AI content generated. So what we're going to be doing is, for the most part, we're going to be just editing the content. Here's how. Now we go to Grammarly, open up a new window, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. And so once we are there, I'm just going to go ahead and paste the content as given to me by ChatGPT. Exactly. So Control V. And so once you paste the text, here Grammarly is going to actually ask you for goals. Just set your goals. Now here, in terms of the goals, I'm going to set the goals to be creative. I'm going to set it to convince, general, and informal for the formality, and click done. Now, of course, after we've set our goals, we can actually go ahead, first of all, and correct the mistakes according to Grammarly. Now, it's important for me to say that I'm actually using Grammarly Pro. But if you're using Grammarly Free, you'll be able to use the Grammarly extension on your browser. Now, this particular extension right here will give you suggestions on how to correct your text. But here's why I'm using Grammarly Pro. And let me first of all go ahead and correct the mistakes. By the way, not every suggestion that Grammarly gives you is actually real or actually something you should go with. So use your mind and make sure that whenever you accept something, that you accept it because you were convinced. Now, in this case, I'm going to go, let's just correct these mistakes. And let me show you a magic trick about Grammarly. Now, you could rephrase the content. That's also a strategy to do in order to make sure that your content doesn't come across as AI generated, because that's exactly what normally you should be doing. Taking the content, especially if it has a high percentage of AI content in it, exactly as it's our case, you can take the content, repurpose it. Make sure you change some sentences, change paragraphs. And once you do that, you will end up with text that has lesser AI content in it. But here's the trick that I prefer the most about Grammarly Pro. Now, for instance, let's say I don't like revolutionary. Now, you could change it to something else, or you could just take it away because it's the same meaning. Welcome to the world of artificial intelligence. You've taken the first. Now, if you don't like you've let's say, right, that's not good. You've taken the first significant step. Let's say the first important step. We could also change it to, let's say, effort or something else. Now here, exhilarating, exciting, okay. Journey, we could probably change it to something else, but let's just leave it like that. This could reshape, this could change your financial future for the better. Now the first paragraph was completely changed. So if I were to run it through an AI content detector test, it's no longer going to be detected as an AI content. Let's do the same thing for the second chapter. Actually, let's go separate the chapters first. In this particular chapter, right, in this particular book chapter, we introduce you, or let's say we teach you, we introduce you to open AI. AI is ChatGPT. Let's just remove this. An AI or a chatbot about to become a chatbot about to become your guide, and this your, let's say, virtual or superhuman virtual assistant to earning income online. Okay, earning money online instead of income, or revenue. You could use either way. And here, but what exactly is ChatGPT actually? But what precisely is ChatGPT? And here it's a very advanced language model developed by OpenAI, capable here, qualified, or let's say ChatGPT can understand prompts, and it is capable of answering questions, generating content, and engaging in a conversation like a human. Now, generate content, engaging conversation like a human. Not just like a human, we're going to say in such a way that mimics human conversation. Okay, so this is what we're going to do here. Mimics human conversation. I'm going to add a dot here. All right, sounds like something out of a science fiction movie. I know that this appears or sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie, but it's a reality. It's a fact, actually, and better yet, it's a reality. It's a truth that is within your grasp. It's a truth that you can control. Now, most of all, some would argue we can't control it, but as of now, this is what things appear to be. Now, you guess now the point. And in order not to make this video boring and longer, I'm going to have to pause it. And now the other parts of the text, I could go on, but let's just not make this video, like I said, boring and long. Now, this part of the text that we have basically edited, I'm just going to go ahead and correct the mistakes because I'm not the most stellar at writing, and I always rely on Grammarly to basically just change and correct my mistakes, which is good because at the end, I'm guaranteed to have a book with 0 mistakes, which is good because as we know, let's say you write a book and it's the best book in the world, but once people start reading the first paragraph, they find a mistake, and then the 6th paragraph, they find a mistake. They're going to have a bad idea about you, and to them, you're just not a good writer, and they're not going to like you as much. Now, in this case, we have changed the content. Here is the next thing, checking for plagiarism, which is exactly the core of what this lecture is for. Now, down underneath here, you can see Grammarly. It has this feature, which is plagiarism checker. Now, this is only available for pro Grammarly users like myself. Now, I have to tell you, I'm paying $144 a year for my Grammarly premium subscription, which, to be completely and utterly honest with you, is, I would say, not really the best thing in the world because I'm paying a lot, but it's worth the money. And let me show you why. If I click plagiarism right here, it's going to basically tell me the percentage of plagiarism in my text. In this case, it tells me that the text looks like it's 100% original, and you can see it down here. But normally, when a text is plagiarized, it will tell you the percentage of plagiarism right here. Now, fortunately, the reason why at the beginning in the previous lecture I said that you can run a plagiarism check if you want to, and I precisely said if you want to, because according to my 7-month experience with ChatGPT, ever since the time it came out to this moment that we are talking right now, is I've basically ran ChatGPT's content through a lot of AI content detectors and mostly basically plagiarism detectors. And in 99.99% of the cases, the plagiarism does not exceed 10%, which means that ChatGPT is quite smart at generating content that is not plagiarized, which is extremely good. Because to be completely honest with you, without that, I wouldn't be posting answers on Quora like a genius the way I'm doing, because Quora, they have this filter. And I've right now, ever since ChatGPT came out, you're going to be shocked, but I have posted 1,000 answers on Quora. That might be surprising, but I post around 40 to 30 answers a day. And if you do the math, that could lead to 1,000. But I've only been intensively posting on Quora during the past month or so because I'm intending on growing a large audience on Quora. I still don't have a lot, but let me show you how many answers I've actually answered. So these are just some of the answers, okay? And just in the recent days, this 7 last days, 16,590 views. And if I go to my profile here, because that's where I can show you, have a look at this. 1,000 answers, 1K, okay? And this was what my latest, which was about the book that I published. I'm actually promoting it on Quora to kind of get some traction, get some people to buy the book. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. It's not happened yet, but it's going to happen. And you can see that in just this particular month, and we're on the 17th, I've got 17,000 views. So I'm going down the road of getting 30,000 views this month. My goal for the next month is something like a 60,000, double this month, and so on and so forth until I get to a level where I kind of getting 200,000 views to my profile on Quora per month, which is great because that's a lot of traffic that I can drive to my website. But back to the point. Now, the point here is that Grammarly is not really necessary for plagiarism, but I think it's necessary to change the content. If you don't have Grammarly, don't worry, because you notice that changing the content doesn't require Grammarly unless you are afraid to make mistakes. Like me, for example, I want to make sure that there are no grammatical mistakes. There are no mistakes. That's why I'm using Grammarly, and also because it actually suggests to me different words for different words. And so now that we have basically edited this text, all we have to do is to take the text through a new test using the Content AI Detector test. Now, notice I've had 10 credits. Now it's supposed to be 9 credits, which is, to be honest with you, not really cool. Well, for some reason, it's still 10 credits. Okay, well, perhaps they're not counting. But let me just go ahead and check. So if I were to check the plagiarism here, now it's 0% AI, 100% human, which is fantastic, if you ask me. Now, if I go back right here, let me just refresh this page and run the test through this page. Now, notice that before it said 65%. Now, let's see how much it's going to say. So if I were to check for AI content, let's just wait, 90%. So it still detects a part of the text as, let's say, AI detected, and it tells me which ones are AI detected. So I can go right now and edit these. So for instance here, this sounds like something straight out of science fiction, straight out of this feels like, let's say this feels like something right out of an alien movie instead of a science fiction movie. Alien movie. And down at the top, or at the top here, welcome to the world of artificial intelligence. Welcome to the magnificent world of AI chatbots. And we could just remove intelligence from here and just keep it like this. Now this it looks good. Okay, so now if I run it again through the test, let me check. And it's going to give us a different result right now. So now it's 96%. Still, this feels like something straight out. It's still detected as a, let's say, robot or AI content, but we've done our best. So 96% here. Here it's actually 100% human. And on writer.com, I'm quite interested to see what they're going to give us as a result. I was going to go over here. I think it's going to be 100%. Right, let's just wait. All right, so let me refresh the page again. Paste in the content and analyze. Still, it's 84%. So let me just go ahead and remove this. I'm going to go back to this particular software because here we've done a couple of editing. I'm going to copy back the content from here, go back to writer.com, paste it in. Now it's supposed to slightly get better, right? 85%. Okay, well, I'm not complaining, okay? 85% is still good. So you can see that now how you can change the content. I hope that you have a very good idea. And I hope that you do that for the entire book because I must insist that that's really necessary to do. But without further ado, now that you know how to check for AI content detectors, how to make sure that plagiarism is at a lowest, how to make sure that your content is well written, how to write content with ChatGPT, now we'll dive deeper and we'll start writing more of the book. And in the next chapter, we're going to do something very important, which is the copyright page. And after that, we're going to continue writing the book. Now, of course, I'm not going to write the entire book with you, but I'm going to write a couple of chapters just to get you going. And we're going to get into the formatting later. But next, let's focus on the copyright page because that's a very important page. It's legal stuff, and we want to make sure that we are protected. And for those of you who are asking, is there a alternative to Grammarly for plagiarism checking? There is Copyscape. You can also use Copyscape. Now, this one is credit-based, which means that you're going to have to pay for every test that you run on this particular tool, which is, if you ask me, not the best kind of business model. Grammarly allows me to test for plagiarism anytime. And also, I get to use their services of setting goals, making sure that everything is correct. And it's fantastic. And also, it enables me to save projects in their library to make sure that nothing is lost. Without further ado, see you in the next lecture where we're going to go and create our copyright page in that lecture. Stay tuned.